Swag Wanted Podcast. Goat vibes.
So with you having the knowledge of radio and the expertise from working it since a younger age, you know, can you break down a little bit of the radio game versus then now?
All right, in the early days, in the 80s, it was, again, relationships. You would have to come and really cultivate your relationships with the programmers and each market, like DC had its own sound, Philly had its own sound, New York had its own sound. Like Philly was known for real good love ballads and R&B. That was because of Kenny. DC was known for the go-go beat, Chuck, and all of them, you know, and all those local artists got on those radio stations. Now, since corporate radio is in the mix, that's why you only hear the top maybe 50 people that's in the game in crazy rotation because corporate added dollars to it. They say it's no payola, but it's called marketing dollars. The more you spend as a label, the more your record gets played. You know, all these contests that you see or hear on radio stations, it's paid from record companies. You know, they give away trips and giving away money. That's all is in the marketing situation. It used to be, still is, if you got a good record, you can't stop a good record. But it's hard to get into the rotation.
Right.
Because of the marketing situation. It used to be you see programmer, music director, then programmer. Now it's sales director, music director, then programmer.
And the crazy thing about it, with the program directors, they only pencil in what's coming down on a piece of paper anyway.
Right.
You know, I mean, they do, you know, back in the day, you did have to study the charts a little bit and, you know, pick off of this chart, pick off of that chart and come up with your, you know, your radio programming, but it's already coming penciled to them these days.
I mean, all right, the mix show DJ was at one time the freest DJ on the radio station. He even has a playlist.
The biggest DJ in hip hop has a playlist that comes from a program director.
Yeah, it used, because that's the way we used to backdoor records. Because again, in the early days, they wasn't playing rap directly in rotation.
What I do like about today's game with radio, they start breaking the terrestrials down different though, because now you can have traditional terrestrial radio. Then when you got non-traditional, still FM channel. One is just more is digitally tracked versus tracked through media base.
Right.
Then you got online. Then you got satellite radio. So it's like you were saying, it's a lot of different spaces you can get into, you know. So,
and that satellite thing is all about, music or entertainment because of this COVID world is becoming specialized. You know, I only like Michael Jackson, so I'm only going to hear stuff that sounds like Michael Jackson. So that's all I'm getting fed. I only like, so it's personalized. That's why the physical radio station might not be here in a couple more years. That's why they run around here being in the digital space. Now, the digital space, I like it, but I can't see it. You know?
You like to walk in, touch,
Yeah.
handshakes. You don't like to look at a screen. I understand.
Yeah. And I think the screen blocks me from looking in your eyes because you might say something to me, but your eyes say I'm lying to this motherfucker. So I ain't go, you know what I'm saying?
I noticed that a lot of people in business, in general, it's cool to do business online with people, phone conversations, text messages, and all of that. But it's nothing like being able to walk into a radio station, you know, be able to take pictures and say, I was here You know, so I get it. It makes business a little bit, tangible. Better.
You know who you're talking to. Again, on social, I could tell you anything. I could show you I'm in a Benz and I really ride a 2-wheel bike. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think the biggest advantage on radio is for, hip hop? Because I know even to this day, hip hop been so frowned upon on commercial radio. So
all right, I got two theories about that. One, I think the powers that be are using our music. I know you heard about Dave Chappelle talked about it a long time ago. A lot of people talk about it was this big meeting that they had that they said we're going to turn hip-hop and use it to build more jails and stuff like that. I believe that shit's true. It ain't that's why they stopped taking off. They took off the positive stuff and put all the orange jumpsuit became hip. Shooting motherfuckers became hip. Calling girls bitches became hip. And if you notice, it's all on those corporate radio stations, the iHearts. And if you notice who own them, they're white. And I'm not prejudiced, but that's a fact. Because our frequency as black folks is peace and love and unity when we hear it right? And now the young kids, they believe anything goes. And nah, that ain't a reality. That ain't true. You have to respect your elders, and your elders got to respect you. I'm not saying you don't have nothing to say. I'm just saying we have to be able to listen to each other, and the music that is being fed to our youth is negative. They really, I miss the Kool Moe Dees and the Public Enemies and people, poor righteous teachers and stuff like that.
Swag Wanted Podcast. Goat Vibes.